be as consistent as you can for as long as you can. Yes, you'll make mistakes. Of course, we all make mistakes. But be consistent as you can as long as you can. Don't plan a cheat meal, especially in the beginning. Can you out-train a bad diet? So, as a lot of you know, obviously I'm fitness and nutrition oriented. I'm a runner. I race a lot. I've talked a lot about my races in the past and my performance. And I've had a lot of clients who, because obviously I'm a personal trainer as well, life coach. So if you are interested, melbournesuperman@gmail.com. So I've had a lot of them who will say to me, look, I'm not getting the results that I want. And honestly, they're trying to out-train a bad diet. And is it possible? Yes. Is it likely? Probably not. So I'm going to get a little into that, and you're going to sort of understand what the pros and cons are, what is possible, what's not, what the reason is that some people look like they can eat whatever they want, not gain any weight, not gain any fat. So first off, when somebody tells you that they can out-train a bad diet, for the most part, it's nonsense. It doesn't make any sense. It's not something that is really easy to do. Like I said, it's not impossible, but it is very much improbable. And we're going to talk about that now. So, essentially, you can only burn so many calories for so long before your body just doesn't want to do it anymore, right? And if you're eating that many calories and you have to do X amount of activity to cancel that out, it's really hard to do because your body will just stop eventually being able to put that output sort of out. So, for example, foods versus activity calories. This is just for a basic average male, 30 to 40 years old, 5'10", 6 foot, about 180 centimeters, 75 to 80 kilograms. Average. One piece of fruit, say an apple, you're looking at a 7-minute, 7 mile per hour run. So that's about, what's that? About 11.5 kilometer per hour run. Not slow by any means. It's not incredibly fast, but that's what you're looking to do. 7-minute run at that pace. And that's to burn off, say, an apple. And that's not a big deal. 7-minute run, barely an inconvenience. But, it's an apple. I don't think that people are necessarily gaining a lot of fat off of apples. So, one cookie. That's about a 15-minute run at the same speed, 7 miles per hour, about 11.5 kilometers per hour. Not everybody eats just one cookie. So say you eat 3. That's now a 45-minute run that you have to work into your day. One slice of pizza. Regular size pizza, minimal toppings. 20 minutes with a 7 mile per hour run, or 11.5 kilometer run. It's a 20-minute day. And that's if you're eating one slice of pizza. You eat 2 or 3, that's a 40 to 60-minute run that you're adding into your day. Now that's including, not including everything else that you're already doing if you're already working out. So, and you can do the math if you want to eat a whole pizza, which is crazy. Well, it's not crazy. I used to do that kind of stuff. So that is like a lot of extra activity, and that's just that is very basic, and that's not, like I said, that's not including anything else that you're already doing, whether you're lifting, doing other running, whatever. These are the very basic things, and so that is the minimum, right, of a poor diet. But again, not everybody who has a bad diet or bad nutrition is only doing that. They're doing that, other things. So there's a lot more stuff to add on. Now I use running because it is the most efficient way you can burn a ton of calories. But as you can already see, it's not really efficient at burning those calories if you are eating that much food. So that's the bad news. This next news is kind of good, but not actually. It's not actually good because it's still bad news. Sorry. So that's the food versus activity, and you can look up the food. You can look up for your body size how much you're going to burn on a run. A lot of the times, every mile, 1.6 kilometers, depending on how large or small you are, anywhere from 100 to 150 calories you're probably going to burn. So now, you can do this. You can out-train a bad diet if your output is consistently high, like really consistently high, and it is consistent, right? So for example, you see elite athletes or people who do a lot of training, myself included, right? Okay, so I essentially exercise a typical day for me. Tuesday is my hardest day during the week, aside from my long run on Saturday. Tuesday, I'll usually have some kind of a quality workout in the morning. So this morning, I did an incline workout. Sometimes I do a speed workout. Today, I did an incline workout. So it was a 15-minute run warm-up, and then it was set the treadmill for 15% incline, run hard for 7 minutes, and then power hike for 3 minutes, and do that again 5 times. So that's basically 35 minutes of hard work on a 15% incline, where my heart rate's anywhere from 160 to 170. And then 15 minutes of power hiking, where my heart rate gets down to about 125, 130. And then a 15-minute cool down. So that's about 80 minutes. 80 minutes of work. 80 minutes. 50 minutes of work and 30 minutes cool down warm up. That burns maybe about 750 to 800 calories, and then whatever I burn throughout the day because of that. And then later on, I basically did a massive back workout and biceps workout. And that burned probably about 200 calories in about an hour and a half. So from the exercise alone, about 1,000 calories, okay? Plus whatever your burning, resting metabolic rate is throughout the day, and the extra calories you're getting from that. I eat about 2,500 calories a day. I could afford to have an extra couple of treats if I wanted to. I don't really eat a lot of junk food, but if I wanted to, I could. Especially on like long run days where I'm running anywhere from 12, 15, 16, 18 miles, about, I don't know, what's that, 22, 25 to 30 kilometers. Those are the days where you're torching calories and you're just going nuts. You're taking 40,000 steps for the day, plus whatever else you're doing. You can have that piece of cake, right? You can have that apple pie. You can have the candy bar, because probably it's going to be fine. But again, you wouldn't want to overdo it. So that's the thing. If you're consistently high with your output and you're doing a lot of work, then you can afford to work that stuff into your nutrition. But again, you're not wanting to do it all the time so much that it's canceling it out, and it will cancel it out before you know it. There's a lot of dense calories in junk food, as you know. You can also do it if your appetite's not very high. So you don't generally eat a lot, or you don't overeat on the sweets or the junk food, or you don't eat it throughout the rest of the day. So like really, if you're meant to have 2,000 calories and you're having like 500 calories of normal food and maybe 1,500 calories of junk food, you probably won't see a big jump in weight. You might see a big jump in fat and muscle loss if you're not working out. But, you know, it just depends. It like really depends. So if you don't have a big appetite and you're not overeating on that stuff, sure, you can work it into your diet, absolutely. But what I'm saying is you can't out-train a consistently bad overeating diet. So yes, you can. It's sort of everything in moderation if your appetite's not very high. Yes, you can if you tend to eat healthy on average. So what does that mean? So for me, I eat healthy 99% of the time, but every now and then I'll have something that's silly, piece of cake, a piece of pie. It's rare, but like a slice of pizza, something fun, tacos, I don't know. But the thing is, 99% of the time I'm eating healthy. So those treats aren't going to affect me any more than they're going to affect me that day or that couple days. Just because of sodium levels and stuff. I might see a rise in the scale for a day or two, but then it'll go right back down because I'm not doing that days in a row. I might just do that once every now and then. And even if I'm on vacation and I want to have something silly, I'm still keeping my activity relatively high, if not higher, because I know that I want to sort of combat that a little bit. So if you tend to eat healthy on average, yes, again, you can afford to put that stuff into it. Now, with that, I also want to talk a little bit, just a little bit of sidebar here. Cheat days. Cheat days. I do not recommend cheat days for people who are trying to start their weight loss journey or their body fat journey, because the thing is, when you're that new at it, a cheat day is, it's just not, it's not going to be able to satisfy you. You'll overdo it. You'll go into bad habits, and it'll set you back. It'll set you far back. If you're really serious about losing weight, losing body fat, getting fit, don't even think about cheat days. Don't ask about them. Don't try to have them. Be as consistent as you can for as long as you can. Yes, you'll make mistakes. Of course, we all make mistakes. But be consistent as you can as long as you can. Don't plan a cheat meal, especially in the beginning. Hey everyone, Andrew here, Melbourne Superman. So just before the video continues, I just want to take a second to remind you to please like, comment, subscribe, hit that notifications bell, ding ding. If you're enjoying this video, please give it a like. Even if you're not, give it a like anyway for stopping by. If you do subscribe and like, it really helps out the channel a lot. I'd really appreciate it. And if you want to comment along, give me your feedback on what I'm talking about. I always try to get back to people as soon as I can, so I look forward to your comments. I look forward to your likes and your subscribes and hitting that notifications bell, ding ding. Look, back to the video. Thanks again so much for stopping by. Oh, going back to it, real quick, just the food versus activity calories. Remember, if you're eating all that and you think that you can go out for these 20, 40, 60-minute runs after eating that all the time, just keep in mind that every time you eat junk food, how often do you want to actually go out and be active after that? You just want to kind of like sit home and do nothing and probably eat more of it. So again, keep that in mind. There's a lot more than just the physical stuff. There's mental stuff and physical stuff, of course, as well. Back to yes, you can do it. So yes, you can do it if you're lucky as hell. Okay? So if you've got great genetics, if you're otherwise pretty active 9 times out of, like, I'm not even talking about stuff in the gym. I'm talking about you're on the move a lot. You take 10, 20,000 steps a day just because you're active as anything. You do have the good genetics. You are naturally slim or muscular, which is rare. It's rarer than you think it is. And yeah, if you're just overall just an active person, constantly moving. So I guess for the most of us, for 99% of us, 99.9% of us, having a bad diet is not optimal because it's almost impossible to outwork it. I mean, I'd say it is impossible to outwork it for most of us because there's too much work that has to go into it. When you have foods like that, you don't want to do that kind of work. And it forms such an addiction to it that before you know it, you can't stop and you can't ever train enough to outdo it. I tried back when I had poor relationship with food, but you know, that came in the form of sort of punishment. I'd spend 2-3 hours on the treadmill almost every day. Like, who wants to do that? And who can do that is the other thing. That is a recipe for disaster in terms of recovery, injury, and just poor habits and making yourself nuts. And it really can do some metabolic damage to you. There are exceptions, of course, but again, athletes at a high level, they don't necessarily do that every day. They don't do 2-3, even ultra athletes, ultra runners, they don't run 2-3 hours every day. They're smart about it. They rest and recover more probably than people that actually aren't doing that. So for most of us, the best thing to do is just be smart about your nutrition. I'm not saying that you have to count calories. I really don't. I only know because I know what the sort of content is of the foods that I eat. But I don't really count calories. I just eat healthy. I make sure that I don't overeat, and I eat to fuel for my goals that I'm doing, whether it's a long run, whether it's a hard run, whether it's a tough strength workout, whether I'm trying to shred, whether I'm trying to gain some weight. But overall, out training a bad diet is absolutely 99% impossible. I know that I say yes you can if, but keep in mind the caveat with that is that yes you can if you're not eating so much that it's going to destroy your metabolism or your progress. And there are things where you got to have high output, really high output, constantly. Appetite's not very high. You tend to eat healthy most of the time, or you're lucky as hell. For the most part, it's just not. It's not. I know that sucks. I know that that's a bad piece of news for a lot of you, But if you're not seeing the results and you think you're working hard, 9 times out of 10, oh God, I sound like a broken record. I've said that like 85 times. But if you're not seeing the progress that you want, the scale's not moving, or you're not seeing the muscles pop, or you're not feeling great, take a long look at your nutrition and figure it out, because you are probably trying to out-train something that you shouldn't be trying to out-train. And it is hard. Like, the junk foods out there are so dense with nasty calories that you are in a surplus before you realize it, because it's not hard to do. I mean, look at those shows like My 600-Pound Life. I mean, it's not hard to. I mean, those are extremes, right? It's hard to get there, but it's not really, because you can I used to eat 6, 7, 8, 9, 10,000 calories a day when I was binging, and yes, it can be hard, but if you space it out the right or the wrong way, you're doing it before you know it. And again, that's extreme, but just keep that in mind. Like, when you have those little pieces of junk food, it all adds up. Like, it all adds up. And I'm not saying that you can't have that stuff. Like, I'm really not. And I'm not saying that you should go out and count your calories, and I'm not saying that you should go on a crash diet, because that's not good either. But I'm saying is, a lot of the times people think that they're doing the right thing, but really, without even realizing it, they're trying to out-train a bad diet. So what I would say is take a look at that. Again, if you have any questions on that, if you have any needs or help, you can contact me, melbournesuperman@gmail.com, or on my Melbourne Superman Instagram page. No, it is not free, I'm sorry. But I do personalized programs. I do work with people virtually and in person, depending on where you are in the world. And I do life coaching as well. So again, please, if you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, subscribe, hit that notifications bell, ding ding. Let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know what your experiences are. I'd really love to hear them. You can do that, comment down below. Other than that, I hope to see you soon at my Melbourne Superman Instagram page. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you next time.